everybody. It is Monday, May 22nd, 2023. It's about 6:20 in the morning. We are currently headed to the shop. On Monday mornings, we do a little safety meeting, service meeting, before we go out to our first calls. So that's what we're doing right now. And then we have a carrier ductless head to replace. So I diagnosed this a while back. The blower motor is really loud on this unit, and I guess either carrier can't get the blower motor or something. I'm not sure, but they gave us a whole new head. So we're going to go out there, we're going to pump it down, we're going to replace this ductless head, and yeah, should be interesting. All right, stay tuned. All right, guys, this head is coming out. You can hear it. Yeah. So instead of giving us a motor, carrier has given us a whole new head. So that one's coming out, new one's going in. All right, we have two units here. I'm fairly certain it's this one. Actually, I am 100% certain it's this one. This one does another office. This one actually goes to a ceiling cassette. So it's this guy here. And don't ask me why, but in the quote, it says we need to recover the refrigerant and put new refrigerant in. This job is actually for the state of Maryland, and they do things a little bit different, so I don't know. They asked for new refrigerant, so they're getting new refrigerant. Guys, we got our recovery unit set up because with new refrigerant, it means we have to recover the old. So I know this is kind of a lame way to do it, but I broke my 5/16 valve core remover, so I just have my adapter, then my valve core remover. I figured I'd do that instead of fighting with two valve cores. We only have to fight with just the one now. But I do plan on replacing my 5/16 valve core remover. But we got it set up. We still have to hook up our recovery hose. All right, we're good there. Okay, everything's hooked up. Let's open up. Open this up. And we're gonna open this up. And we're gonna start pumping. Maybe. There we go. My cheater cord fell off. I don't have any 120 volts out here, so had to use the cheater cord. All right, we're gonna let this baby pump. Looks like it's dropping pretty quick. We'll get all that out of there and we'll start disconnecting our indoor unit. All right, scratch that. We're gonna stay out here and wait for this to recover because it seems like it's pumping pretty quick. We want to be out here when it finishes. Well, that hasn't taken very long at all. Maybe 2 or 3 minutes. So we got the covers off here. We got this disconnected, and the line set runs right through the wall here. So my flare connections are going to be right on the other side of this wall. I'm just waiting for the lady with the key to open up the office on the other side of there so I can get to it. All right, here's our connections back here. We're going to get all this cut off here so we can get to our flare connections. What in the world is going on here? Oh, there's a pump down here. There's a pump down here. And I guess somebody had wired in the float switch at one point and then bypassed it. That's weird. That's why that looks weird like that. Well, that looks like hell. All right. Got our insulation peeled back. Here are our flares. We're going to undo those, bend them straight so we can pull everything out. We're gonna have to pull that drain out of there too. All right, we got it disconnected. We got all that straightened out. This might be kind of a bitch getting this out. We're gonna find out, because it looks like somebody put, it looks like liquid nails to me, but we should be able to rip that out. We'll see. All right, it came out pretty easy. There's our hole. I'm not sure if our new bracket is going to be the same, but we're gonna find out. Let's carry this old one out. Yeah, here is our new one. We'll get it unboxed. The bracket does look different, so we'll pull that old bracket off there and mount the new one. All right, so they gave me this template here at a cardboard. So basically what I did was the knockout hole, I just lined up with my existing hole, and now I have to drill new holes for the anchors. So I just marked holes in 4 spots, and we'll have to put new anchors in. Well, the anchors I had, I didn't trust. They weren't really masonry anchors. So I ran to the hardware store real quick, and I'm headed back now. All right, we got our new bracket mounted. Sure we're level. We're looking level. All right, guys, we got the new one here. Looks like they took a page out of LG's book, and they have this kickstand now, which is nice. This is a totally different air handler now. This plug here, this wire is just for test, okay? All right, so we're gonna bend this out. We're gonna bend the line set out so we can feed it through our hole. All right, we got the new head mounted. Got the line set pushed through. Seems like it's locked in. Here is our line set stubbed through. We're gonna turn the line set up, drop the drain down, and get everything connected. Hopefully these flares are good and I don't have to re-flare them. I don't see why they would be bad, but a pressure test will tell that. All right, put these springs on here to assist in the bending. I'm not a big fan of these because they end up just rusting, but they do put them on there to help you bend. So there's that. And we're pressurized because we got nitrogen coming out. So that's a good sign. All right, here's our 1/4 inch flare. That looks pretty good. Yep, that looks pretty good. Here's our 5/8 flare. That doesn't look bad either. So our flares look good. We're gonna lock those onto our new nuts, but we'll always pressure test and make sure. All right, we got our pressure test set up. Looks like we're right about 256. It's evened out. We're gonna go ahead and start the test. And we're gonna give that a few minutes and see if it drops. All right, for good measure, we went ahead and soaked up our flare fittings just to make sure we're looking good there. Looking good. And my wiring around the other side almost looks like it's gonna be too short, which that's okay because I think I'm gonna cut this here, run a new piece in, and then put a proper splice here. Because I don't like this. I don't like this one bit. So I think I'm gonna cut that, put a proper splice in, even though you're not supposed to have a splice in the ductless wire, but I'm gonna put a good one in there. And then I'll feel a lot better about that because this looks like crap. And now after I come here and put a new head in, this will have my name on it, and I don't want that. get rid of this wire too. All right, guys, after about 10 minutes, it looks like we've gained 0.2, so that's always a good sign. All right, I'm gonna let that hold on there until I get the vacuum pump around. We're gonna get the vacuum pump hooked up. While we're pulling our vacuum, we will finish all the inside stuff. All right, we got the vacuum rig set up. Looks like we're down to about 15 so far. We're gonna let that pull for a while. We are pumping the whole unit now too. We're pumping the compressor, everything. So this will take a little longer than usual. That old spliced piece of wire out. We got our new wire put in, and that actually fed through that hole by itself. I didn't even have to guide it in there. So we're gonna splice it on the other side. We're gonna get this connected and we're gonna be good to go. So, yep. All right, guys, we got our wire spliced. We got our insulation put back on, taped on. Yeah, I know it doesn't look that great, but you know, we're in a shop here, so it's not like it's in a homeowner's house. Most of the time this would be covered in a wall anyway, but all right, we got all that tightened. We're gonna go around the other side and make our connections over there now. All right, we got our new wiring wired up. I got our ground here, communicating, and then our 100 or our 240 volts here. So this new carrier head, I actually do like a lot. It's got this kickstand here, and it's also got a kickstand here for the electrical compartment, which is very nice. So Carrier has done some pretty significant upgrades to their ductless stuff, because they were bottom of the barrel. I mean, they sucked. And looks like they've really done some improvements with these heads here. These clips hold the bottom panel on, which is good. You unclip those, it came right off. It mounted pretty good. The mounting bracket went on, and this kind of just clipped right in place. It was pretty easy. Everything seems like it's a whole lot better. So thumbs up to Carrier for making improvements on their wall heads. And even this bottom panel comes on and off very easily. 2 clips, and then the thing comes right off. See? Pops right off. And then if you need to, you can unclip these and then pull this up and throw your kickstand up. I'm not going to do it now because I am all connected here, but they've made very good improvements here. Let me see if I can even just do this one-handed. I can't do it one-handed, but it's it's definitely improved. All right, guys, looks like we're down to about 158, 56 microns. I think we're good to go on our vacuum here. We're gonna start our decay test, and then we're gonna charge this thing up. All right, guys, sorry, I got ridiculous here for a minute. I was taking phone calls. I had people coming by and talking to me, but our decay test passed. I've got it with the factory charge in it now. I'm about to start it up. Actually, I did already turn it on. So we're gonna go make sure everything's good with that and start this thing up. All right, guys, we are running. Looking good. I got a big mess to clean up. Sorry, guys, it got kind of crazy here towards the end. I was taking a lot of phone calls, and I had a lot of guys from the place I'm working coming up and talking to me, so I couldn't get a whole lot of the end of it, but I'm gonna clean up now, and I think we're in pretty good shape here. I'm just finishing getting our stuff put away here. We're gonna take a quick temp split inside. It's been running for, I don't know, a good 15 minutes now, so we'll get a good temp split and see what this thing's doing. All right, I'll tell you what, this one's a lot quieter. Just put my probes in, and that temp split's dropping pretty quick. Let me get something to wipe this down. All right, 20-degree temp split. This thing is looking good. There's our new model here. All right, let's set this to a more reasonable temperature. This is actually a truck shop office here for the state of Maryland. Put her at 70. Looks like we're probably satisfied by now anyway at 70. So, all right. Take our probes off. Get one last look at her. Almost forgot to clean up our little bit of mess we made. So we'll do that right now. All right, guys, just left that call there. I thought that job turned out pretty good, and I really like the new design of Carrier's new ductless head. I think that design has been around for over a year or two now, but that's the first one I've actually put in because I don't do a whole lot of installing. I do very little installing actually of new units. Most of what I do is service, so it is a good change of pace putting a unit in where that was just a head swap out. But I like that style a lot more than the older style. That one we took off was from 2018, and the one we put back on had a serial number of 2022, but it's still the newer model. I don't know if they had that one sitting on the shelf for a while, or maybe we had it sitting around for a while. I'm not sure. Because I did diagnose that bad motor, that loud motor, 3 months ago. So maybe we ordered it and now we're just getting around to doing it. I'm not sure. I don't deal with the scheduling. So, but I think it went pretty good. Unit's running good, and thumbs up for Carrier for changing their design and making something better. And usually the manufacturers will change up their design and it'll be worse. Well, Carrier looks like they really upgraded their heads there. So, you know, big thumbs up to them. And we are a Carrier factory authorized dealer, Carrier FAD dealer. So we deal with a lot of this stuff. Even though I put very little units in, our install department and our construction department puts in a ton of those units. So, all right, guys, that's going to be it for this one. If you haven't done so already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that either. So, all right, guys, I spent a little more time on that than I wanted to, but I'm off to the next one now.